I'm Lauren Grace, here tonight with Sean Mitchell, and we will be hosting the Mason Excellence in Sports Awards. Tonight we will be joined by Colin Eckerfe, Lily Vardanian, and Tori McVeigh down at the red carpet, interviewing some of our Mason sports athletes. But before we go, should I restart? But before we go there, we will be talking a little bit about the athletes and the teams.
Well, the Mason sports, as always, were successful this past season. With 10 GMC championships, multiple deep postseason runs, and 3 district championships under their belts, the Comets played well all throughout all seasons, fall, winter, and spring, accumulating to a total of 83.2 win percentage. Now, the Mason Comets overall have been doing very well. They've won, I believe, 8 straight all-sport titles. But that aside, we would just like to talk about what an honor it is to be broadcasting to you live the Mason Excellence in Sports Awards ceremony. The atmosphere here is absolutely great. Everybody's all dressed up, looking their finest for a great night in the athletic world.
Yeah, it's really great to be here hosting. We're really enjoying it so far and can't wait to hang out with you guys for the rest of the night. A lot of people have put a lot of hard work into making this night happen. I know it started back in probably September or November, the planning, and it's really been a tough process of trial and error of seeing what exactly we wanted this night to play out to be, and I think it's really going to end up being a great one.
Yeah, definitely. It's been a long time coming. And before we get things kicked off, I'd really like to take a minute just to thank our camera crew, Tim Newman, Jason Dudley, all the guys back there in the truck that are putting in all the hard work out back there to make this whole production possible. We got Joey Belcastro back behind the camera doing his job. But again, just like to say thank you to everybody in attendance, everybody back in the back working their butts off. It's going to be a great night, and we're excited to be here with you.
Yep, so now we're going to send it down to 2 of our red carpet hosts, Lily and Cullen, to interview some athletes.
All right, thanks for joining us here. Today we have Lauren Van Clunen, Jalen Mason, and Sammy Puisa, some of our girls basketball stars. Guys, can we start off saying this year you guys had a terrific season, second in the GMC, district champions, regional champions, also made the state tournament. Can you just kind of describe what it was like to us? Put us in your shoes and say it was like being in that state championship game.
For us, it was unbelievable. It's been since 2002 since we've been able to do that, so it was a lot of fun. A lot of memories were made these past 4 years, and especially this last year. Just all the hard work, all the morning practices, and everything has led to this. So it's been really exciting and really fun to do.
Personally, I know, speaking for everyone, it was probably one of the greatest moments that we ever could have had. It was a great bonding experience. We got to know a lot about each other while we were down there, and being able to make it that far after such a long time, it's a real accomplishment for all of us.
So what's it like for both of you to go from being teammates to possibly being opponents next year in college?
Oh goodness, I don't know. We've been talking about that since we were little, honestly. But I think it's going to be fun. Me and Lauren, we used to actually play against each other when we were little, so being able to see each other's skills grow, and then knowing that she is a great competitor for me and for my team next year, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Definitely same with that. I mean, in practice we go at it. We love being on opposite teams, and we have fun with it. So it's going to be really exciting. It's going to be cool to see where she goes and kind of just play against each other.
Of course, yeah.
And then Sammy, stepping in as your freshman year, not knowing exactly what to expect. What was it like for you being able to play under 2 great mentors to your left here?
It was a lot of fun. I loved being a part of this team, especially with these amazing seniors. It was a great experience as a freshman. I don't think I'll be able to experience this again, so I really enjoyed it, especially with these 2 seniors.
So now that your seniors are leaving, do you feel any responsibility next year with you being one of the more experienced athletes on the team?
I think a little bit. I'll have to carry on a bigger role, but I think there are a lot of girls on the team that also have big roles, so next year will be a lot of fun too.
Yep.
All right, and then one final question. You guys got the privilege of playing under the Ohio Girls Basketball Coach of the Year, your head coach, Coach Robin Tula. What was it like being able to spend 4 years under him?
It was a lot of fun. It was hard, I'll definitely say that, but it was a lot of fun. Just like being with him, I mean, he acts like our second dad for me. So, I mean, it's been great, and just getting to know him over the years. There's been a lot of yelling, but I mean, it's all fun in the end, and we know all he wants is the best for us.
I know it was a great experience for me. He taught us a lot. the 4 years he acted like a father, like Lauren said, but he also taught us, a lot in the game of basketball. He had been coaching for so long, but he also taught us how to be great people off the court. So he's a great role model for anyone.
And do you have anything to add to that, Sammy?
He was a great coach. I loved him a lot. Having him, I didn't know what to expect the first year, so I loved him a lot. I can't wait for the next 3 years.
Awesome.
All right, I think that'll do it for us right now. Down here on the floor, we're going to throw it back up to you, Sean and Lauren.
All right, man, Lauren, what a great group of girls that is. That team has done tremendous this past season. They were GMC champs, first time, that's the men's basketball team, pardon me, I get those all mixed up. But anyway, they finished with a 26-3 record. They were state runner-up, graduating a very successful senior class, and that team total is up for 4 awards in this upcoming awards ceremony. I mean, that group of girls, I had the pleasure of doing Mason Local Sports Radio broadcasting for that team, and I got to go up to Columbus and I got to go on a trip up there with them. It's just a great environment, and that team, they do a great job of combining a professional attitude and a hard work ethic going into the games, but still on the other side of that, they can just relax and have fun. That's the best part of sports, and that's why we're all here tonight, right?
Yeah,
it's just to have fun, exactly. We're all just out here to have a good time and to celebrate all the great athletes that we have in this wonderful high school of 3,700 students. Now, girls basketball, don't get me wrong, was not the only good team in this past winter's season. Men's basketball also had a tremendous season as well. They were GMC champs, first time they went 16-0 in the league's history. That's never been done before. Tremendous accomplishment for them. Kyle Lamont was player of the year. They had a great overall team effort, and Greg Richards, the head coach for the Mason Comets squad, has got to be happy, especially since he got his 300th career victory this past season. Coach Richards has always instilled a teamwork mentality, and it's not a bunch of 5 individuals working out on the court. It's one cohesive unit out there working as a team, and that's what really brought this team to success and what gave them all the accomplishments that they have now.
Yeah, for sure. And you can definitely tell that they're having as much fun on the court as everyone else who's watching them, because when you're sitting out in the stands watching them play, you can tell that they really work well together. They're out there having fun, they're enjoying their time and working hard, and they definitely deserve everything that they've gotten.
Yeah, definitely. And congrats to all the players on the men's basketball team who are going to be furthering their careers in the athletic world. Kyle Lamont up there at Northwood. Logan Taylor, I believe, will be playing at Miami, Hamilton, and there are others that I just can't list off right now off the top of my head. But again, a lot of players that are going to be furthering their careers next year at the collegiate level. And the same goes for the girls team as well. Jalen, Lauren, and I'm sure Sammy Puisis, come her time, will be playing some college basketball later on.
Yeah, the women's team is young, and they've got a lot of good players coming up. I mean, half of their squad is just freshmen and sophomores, so I will definitely think that they will be coming back to the state championship next year and years to come. A
lot of prospect for that girls team. And they got other players, and they have so many star players that we can really not even fit them all into one screen to get them all interviewed. Anna Brinkman, I believe that she's a freshman as well. She and Sammy Puisis are going to be working together for 4 years on the varsity squad, and that's just a luxury that a lot of teams don't get to have. Getting that team chemistry, working together, learning how they play with each other is going to be crucial for them to have success in the future. And of course, they got plenty of players to back them up. Jordan Reddington, Sailor Norton is going to be coming back. A lot of good talent coming back for that team next year.
Mackenzie Dixon is going to be recovering from her ACL surgery.
Exactly.
So she'll definitely be coming back ready to go, and I think they're going to come back next year even better than ever.
Exactly. Wouldn't be surprised if they go to Columbus and come back just a little bit happier than they did this previous season at state runner-ups.
Yep. So now we're going to throw it down to Tori and Lily with Sean Meritt from the bowling team.
Alrighty, I'm here with Sean Meritt. Sean, you look awesome tonight, may I just say.
Thank you.
Okay, well, I've heard you bowled a 300 this year.
Yep.
What did it take to get to that point?
I got to the last ball and I just kind of stepped up and threw it, didn't really think about it, and I just tried to get out of the hand as soon as I could. So just took practice. Yeah.
All right, so now that you have joined the 300 Club, do you find yourself taking more of a leadership role on your team to kind of mentor your other teammates to reach that point?
Definitely. It's a big accomplishment to bowl 300, but I think that day in particular was a big role because we broke the school record. So I think bowling at 300 was probably the biggest milestone of the season.
Of course, yeah.
So bowling is such a low-profile sport. What would you say to your fans to get more people to come to your matches?
You know, bowling is a lot of fun. It's something you can do with your friends just on the weekend, and it takes a lot of skill, believe it or not, to just practice 10 pins and making your spares, and there's a lot that goes on in bowling than just throwing it down the lanes.
How much do you practice?
During the season, probably about 3 days a week, and then matches the other 3 or 4 days. So.
Okay. Do you go during the summer too?
Yeah, I bowl in the summer in leagues, and I just go out with my friends and mess around sometimes. But yeah.
So now that you are a senior, what's next year going to look like for you? Do you plan to bowl in college, or is this going to turn more into a hobby?
It'll turn more into a hobby, but I may look to bowl in Miami, because that's where I'm going next year. But it's just something that I want to do for the rest of my life, because it's something you can do, and it's always been fun to me. So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, I think that wraps it up with Sean. We'll send it back up to Lauren and Sean.
All right, so now that we got to hear from Sean and just a member of the bowling squad, we're going to start to talk about another winter sport that had a spectacular season. That would be wrestling.
Yeah, so I'm going to kick it off with wrestling. Obviously, the wrestling team always has a really good season. Coach Mernan really knows how to rile his boys together and get them ready. So this year they had a regular season win over Moeller, who's definitely their rivals, I would say, and
sure.
Always a tough team to beat. And this year they really pulled out and beat them by a landslide. And then they've also have won their GMC championship for now the 7th year in a row, which is a huge feat for a Mason sports team. Like, that is awesome for the wrestling team. And then another guy that we'd like to give a shout out to is Zach Donathan, who was a state runner-up in his 132-pound weight class. And think about how hard he had to work to do that. I mean, that is a huge feat for him to have. I'm sure that he'll come back next year better than ever and ready to win again.
Oh yeah, you got that right. And the wrestling team puts in so much work in the weight room. You know, I had a couple of brothers who wrestled when they were a little bit younger, not quite at the high school level, but in junior high. And I just know that even at that junior high level, they were always putting in work. You know, they were getting into the gym, they were getting into the weight room, lifting weights and all that stuff, trying to get in the best shape possible for their team and do what they can do to help better the squad as a whole. And Coach Mernan, you know, he takes such an, like, he's a traditional coach, you know, but he takes kind of an abstract approach within that. You know, I had a pleasure of doing a story on part of the wrestling team, and a man by the name of Robert Shepard, who used to wrestle for the squad and wrestled for Coach Mernan. And just when you're in the room, just talking with some of the wrestlers, the environment in that room is just so great. You know, maybe not the best smell, but you get over it. You know, you kind of get acquainted with it, and that smell is like, it just kind of represents all the hard work and literal blood, sweat, and tears that group is putting in there. And Coach Mernan and his staff have got to be happy with the way their team is turning out and how it will go in the future. Yeah, and we know that all the wrestlers are going to miss Coach Mernan as he decided to leave this year, which really stinks for them. But I'm sure that there will be another coach that comes in and riles them up, and I'm sure Coach Mernan will coach that coach to make his boys the best. Definitely, and like to extend a good luck to Coach Mernan and his further career after his coaching is all finished. Yep. Looks like we now have Toni Bizzarro down on the red carpet, and that's going to be with Cullen and Tori. So we'll kick it down to them to speak with Toni.
All right, I'm here with Toni Bizzarro, girls varsity soccer goalie. So Toni, you're nominated for Female Athlete of the Year. What's it taken to get to this point?
A lot of hard work and determination, showing up every day, ready to play your best, and just pushing everyone around you.
All right, and Toni, you know, you're one of the few athletes that are not only not only played 4 years on the varsity level, but started 4 years on the varsity level. Could you just kind of describe what it's like being able to play at that level for 4 years? Just like,
it's just an unbelievable experience every day, just getting to start and to play with a great group of girls and really be able to push yourself is just unbelievable and really hard to explain.
What's your biggest accomplishment, would you say, this year?
This past year, probably being an All-American was my biggest accomplishment.
Okay. And what about your overall high school career?
My overall high school career probably was the PK shootout against Oak Hills last year.
all right, and then you were also nominated as a 4-year letter winner could you kind of describe what that accomplishment means to you?
It means a lot to me. I mean, to see how I've grown from freshman year to now is just really unbelievable to see, and I'm really excited.
How do you balance your schoolwork and your athletics all in the same time?
It's really hard. You get like really good after a while, after years of practice, but it's a lot of late lights and not a lot of sleep.
All right, and Toni, you know, over your 4 years, it seems like you guys were making a run at the state championship every year. What does that say about this senior class, just from a leadership and camaraderie standpoint, just to be able to do that year after year?
Definitely says a lot about us, definitely says a lot about how we lead, how people look up to us, how we earn respect from people, and just how we can get everyone to come together and work together.
And then what are your plans for next year?
Hopefully get to start at Xavier. I'm really excited for it.
All right, I think that'll do it for us down here. We're going to throw it back up to you, Sean and Lauren.
All right, thanks guys. That was great hearing from Toni Bizzarro, one of the stars on the women's soccer team. And both soccer teams this year, boys and women's, had a great season.
Yeah, definitely, and it's like a very similar story to the boys basketball team and girls basketball team. Now that one was in the winter, soccer obviously in the fall. The boys soccer team had an absolutely tremendous season. State Final Four, district champions, GMC champions. The seniors went 34-1-1 in their total 4-year career, and versus GMC opponents in their in that 4-year span. And you know, I was reading all that because it's so much information I can barely even keep it in my head. You know, list of accolades is almost too long for that team. Bryce Curran, I believe he's nominated for Male Athlete of the Year. You know, they had Evan Couchot, who had that tremendous bicycle kick that we all love to look at.
Love watching that.
Every time that we see the sports section of an NBC broadcast, you get to see that one front and center, that Evan Couchot bicycle kick. Evan Couchot is going to be furthering his athletic career at Endicott College. Bryce Curran will be at Xavier with Toni Bizzarro. Good luck to all three of those folks in their athletic career next year. You know, one of the great games and matches of the fall was boys soccer versus Elder, and that was on November 11th. It was in the regional semifinal at the Sycamore Junior High School. Mason ended up winning that one 5-2. You know, that one, in most fans' opinions, was a dream playoff matchup. Mason versus Elder is a huge rivalry. Even though, you know, they're not conference foes, they still just love to go at it, and all the public schools love to get after the GCL schools. I mean, I'm sure that goes for girls
Moeller,
across
St. X, oh yeah, with all of them. Ursuline, MND, we love it.
Yeah, for sure, exactly. And when you can say that you beat a GCL school, it really makes it all that much sweeter. But again, that team was just great as a whole, and you know, like we talked about earlier with the boys basketball team, and they play it as a cohesive unit. The boys soccer team was no exception to that rule as well. That's pretty much just how Mason rolls. And you know, Coach Paul Reedy and his staff, again, got to be happy with the way their season turned out. And you know, I'm sure they'll be good next year.
Oh yeah.
A good coaching staff will turn any player into a good, productive player.
Yeah, and once again, it's always a pleasure to watch the boys and the women's team. A lot of energy in it. Even when you're in the stands, you can feel their passion for the sport and how much they love it and how much like they've been working for it, and in the weight room, at practice, at all their games, you can totally tell.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so one of our most amazing athletes is Ashley Volpenhein, and boy, she's got a story to tell. She's a member of the women's swim team, so we're going to take a few minutes to talk with her down on the red carpet. We'll see you later.
All right, we're here with varsity swimmer Ashley Volpenhein. Ashley, we know you've had a lot of accomplishments this past year. What's your biggest accomplishment, would you say?
The one I had most fun with was definitely our state relay this past season. Winning individually is obviously awesome, and getting to represent USA was a huge deal, but I think that what stood out to me the most was being on a team relay with my best friends and getting to share a win with them, because I think that's more special than anything, really.
And who was on that relay?
So it was me, Abby Essler, Gabby Marinelli, and Allison Blaybound.
And what was your time?
Oh gosh, I have no idea. I don't know relay times even.
So we obviously know that you're very busy with school swim and the national team. How do you balance your time with all your schoolwork and all your outside activities?
I think setting goals and priorities is a huge part of being able to balance everything. Always putting school first is huge for me, because if I don't, I tend to lose focus. So I like to get my schoolwork done and then worry about swimming later. It's kind of been hard this year because I have trials coming up and it's junior year and college decisions and everything. But yeah, just making sure that you have your priorities set is huge.
Of course.
So your coaches and family are such a big part of your sport career. What would you say to them?
I couldn't say thank you enough. I really don't appreciate enough I don't say thank you enough to how much they've sacrificed for me and, you know, how much time and effort they put in to helping me. And my mom's been helping me a ton with college, which is, I think definitely don't thank her enough for that, because that's such a huge thing to take on. And just everything that they've been able to support me when I have bad swims and good swims, and that means the most to me, because I know they're gonna love me if I swim bad or good. So I don't know, it's a support system that's essential. Yep.
So rumor has it that we're going to see you in the Olympics one day. So how far do you think that this talent will take you?
I'm not gonna limit myself to say we'll never make the Olympics, but I don't know. That's obviously a huge goal I've had since I was little. And first step is Olympic trials this year, and so that'll be in June and at Omaha. And that's going to be, you know, one of the bigger meets I've ever been to. So I'm really excited for that. And then I have. I have 4 more years, and then I'll be a junior in college, which is a pretty good time if I ever wanted to make the team. So I'm not going to say no, but I don't know.
So we know that this sport has given you a lot of amazing experiences. Where do you think your favorite place that you've traveled is?
So I've been out of the country twice with USA Swimming, and definitely Ireland was awesome, but I think Singapore was more it was a different experience, and I enjoyed it more. It was. It's kind of weird there. They have a lot of rules, so it's super clean and such a different city than we're used to here in America. So you know, being there and getting to experience that with a whole group of people that you become so close with in such a short amount of time it's indescribable. It's one of the greatest experiences I've ever had.
Awesome. Well, we look forward to seeing where this talent takes you. We'll send it back up to Sean and Lauren.
Thanks, guys. Okay, so now we're going to talk a little bit about spring sports. Obviously, their regular season is just coming to a close and postseason is starting up. We have a ton of great spring sports that are going on. We got baseball, softball, boys and girls lacrosse, track and field.
Yeah. You know, baseball team, softball team, those are the two ones that you really hear about a lot. Both teams are doing stupendous in this regular season. Men's team was able to get a share of the GMC title. Women's team, not women's team, softball team, I should say, able to get a share of the title as well. Both teams hoping to do very well in the postseason. I think they got a lot of prospect. Mason will actually face off against Withrow this upcoming Tuesday, so that would be tomorrow at 5 o'clock, and I believe that is here at the Mason High School field, just about 3 minutes over there to my left. Now, Lauren, girls lacrosse and boys lacrosse, how are they doing?
All right, so girls and boys lacrosse both have 2 more games left in their regular season, and then they go on to play their postseason game. Girls lacrosse, we play Beaver Creek, so that'll be a pretty good, easy matchup for us to beat them and then get going with our postseason. And I know that it's been a pretty big struggle for the girls lacrosse team going through 3 coaches in the 4 years that the seniors right now have been on the team, but I think they've adjusted to it really well and have had a little rough start to the season, but together to get the team chemistry going, learning with the coaches, and pulling out some wins. And then the boys team's also doing pretty well. They started off rocky as well, but they're coming out on top, getting a couple wins in. I know both the senior nights are coming up this week, so you'll definitely want to stop by and view those.
Yeah, definitely. And you know, 3 coaches within a 4-year span is tough for any program at any level, you know, whether that be from high school up to college. So I believe now we're going to head back down to the floor for a bit of the ceremony, right?
For another interview, I think.
Or for another interview.
Sounds good.
All right.
All right, I'm here with Ben Schutte, Patch Butler, and Nate Holler, all boys varsity basketball. So you guys won your GMC title this year. How'd it feel?
I mean, it's a great feeling when all your hard work that you put in every day shows up and you're able to win a title like that. So it was great.
It was just great that the energy that the bench brought to every game actually paid off.
I think the team chemistry was key for us. I think we really gelled as a team, and that's what helped us win a lot of games this year.
All right, and you guys also had the privilege of being able to share Coach Richards' 300th win with him this year. Could you kind of describe how that experience was for you guys as a team?
That was, it was special. He tried to play it down so it wasn't as big, but that was really special for him. You know, not a lot of coaches get to win 300 games in their career at this kind of varsity level, so it was big for him.
Ben, you are still a junior, right?
Yes.
So, how are you gonna change next year? What are you gonna bring to the team next year?
Well, You know, I think it's going to be a lot of the same. We're losing a few guys that were key to our success this year, but we're also bringing in a JV team that went 20-0 and was very successful. And so I don't know about much that will change. I think it's going to be a lot of doing the same that we did this year, and hopefully we'll succeed at an even higher level next year.
And Patch, I have to ask, you know, a lot of times people concentrate a lot on the players on the floor, but off the floor, on the bench, you guys just had some crazy celebrations this year. Could you just describe the energy it takes to bring to the table?
I got to say, friends in the game, they're on the moment. So.
Oh, okay.
But I think they were really crucial to our wins, and I think without the bench celebrations and the bench hype, we would have lost every single game this season.
Nate, what are your plans for next year?
Next year, I will be attending Denison University to play basketball, so that's what I'll be doing next year.
What about you, Patch?
I'm going to Ohio State to pursue my education.
All right, and then one final question for you, Ben. You know, coming up next year, you guys are defending GMC champions. Does that put any pressure on you guys to defend that championship?
Well, I mean, it definitely puts a big target on our back. People want to beat us. People want to be where we are. But I think it just ups our determination. It puts us in a place where we want to win, and we want to keep that title. We don't want anyone else to have it. So I think it's just going to be good for us. It's going to keep us motivated.
All right, Sean and Lauren, we're sending it back to you.
Thanks, Tori and Cullen. So, Sean, you had a little bit to say about the basketball team?
Oh, for sure. I've spent all 4 years of my high school career with that basketball team. You know, I've really gotten to grow with them, and they've just been a blast to get along with and be around. You know, that team, again, another one of the finest Mason programs, and the fact that they perfectly mix a professional environment and a hard work ethic with, you know, just having fun and relaxing.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and that's just how you got to keep it. Just keeping it fun, loose, and relaxed, but still getting that success on the court. And you know, I'm pretty sure any athlete is going to say that winning is fun.
Yeah.
And you know, when you're winning like they are, going undefeated in the regular season, or not undefeated in the regular season, undefeated in the GMC, I should say. But when you're winning like that, it's pretty easy to have fun. But you know, again, that team, I've grown with them for 4 years. You know, I just want to take a moment, you know, while I'm here on TV, to say thanks to that program, especially Coach Richards, Coach Peters, Coach Dieltel, all those guys that have been with those 4 years. It's been a real treat to be able to experience that program and to grow with them. And again, just want to say thank you to you guys.
Yeah, Sean, it was really awesome how you managed them for all 4 years. Is there going to be another person taking your spot?
Yeah, we do actually, and you know, I believe it was Thomas Mariner did a story just this past, well, a couple broadcasts ago. He did a story on myself and my, I guess you would call him my mini-me, almost, Aiden Crowley. He's going to be taking over next year, assuming that he doesn't make the freshman team, which is a pretty good possibility on that. But anyway, he'll be taking over the managerial duties next year, and I'm hoping that he'll be able to do as good a job as I think that he can. You know, I think he's going to do a great job keeping that program nice and tidy, doing whatever the coaches ask, you know, doing what's needed to help that program win and be successful as they have been in the past 4 years.
That's perfect. All right, so now I think we're going to talk a little bit about well, actually, we're going to go down to the floor for an interview.
Yeah, you know it.
It'll be fine once everybody leaves. You ain't got everybody looking at you.
All right, I'm here with the boys varsity track team. Can you guys tell me about how it felt to go to New Balance Nationals this year?
It was a fun time. Me, Bryson, J Bell, Nick, we all ran really good. We got 3rd place overall, so I thought it was a great time. First time ever.
Yeah, it was a great experience. Ran against some of the top guys in America, but I think we competed well. You know, Bryson coming back really helped the team out.
It was a great time, actually. I never went to New York, so going to New York for the first time for track was amazing. So we loved it. Glad we in Mason, you know. So.
What was your guys' time?
We ran a
129.3. So that's fast for indoor.
Very fast.
Yeah.
And your guys' indoor season went pretty well?
Yeah, it went really
good. Yeah, we did really good.
You guys went to state?
Yeah, we made it to state.
What relays did you guys run?
4x2, 4x1. Was it?
No,
4x4. And 4x4.
So along with getting to go to New York, you guys have had a lot of accomplishments this season. So what would you say is your favorite accomplishment you've made?
I'd say overall my favorite accomplishment was winning state last year. It was a great time.
Oh yeah, winning state was my favorite as well. First time ever getting that gold medal. It was amazing.
Absolutely. So now that we've got them wrapped up, we'll send you right back to the ceremony.
All right, so we got a lot of awards that are getting handed out this night, and you just want to highlight a couple of those. And I'm going to do two. You're going to do Outstanding Player of the Year. This award, and I'm reading this right off the paper, this award is presented annually to the athlete, team or group of athletes, adjudged to have made the most spectacular play of the year. The play can be made during any regular season or postseason contest. A visual record of the play must accompany the nominee. That is going to be something to look forward to, the most outstanding play of the year. You never know what you're going to see. We had a lot of good stuff going on during this regular season, all through spring, fall, winter, all those. A lot of exciting plays. Another great award that we'd like to highlight is the Outstanding Fan of the Year. This award is presented annually to the fan, adjudged to have most exemplified the dedication, integrity, and fanmanship it takes to support Mason Common athletics. That should be interesting to see because we've got a lot of great fans. In that black hole, whenever you can get them to come out to a sporting event, they get pretty wild and pretty rowdy, and they can do some pretty crazy stuff. And whoever's leading that black hole is going to be probably up at the end of the most outstanding fan of the year. I'd say at least one of the nominees for sure.
Yeah, I know we have Jake Sewell, Dez, we got, who else is nominated for that? Cam Schrader and Juan.
Maybe Sam Taylor.
Juan, yeah, I think it's those four. So it'll be really interesting to see who wins because that was a student voted one. So it should be really cool to see who wins it and who can keep the black hole hyped.
Yeah, exactly. And like you said, that was a student voted award, and it was great to see the students getting involved with this ESPY award show. Obviously, me and Lauren, we're both students. We got students behind the camera, students helping out all over the place, but it's the everyday, I don't want to call them civilian students, but all the other students of Mason High School. When they get involved and they're getting excited about this award show, that's when that's actually a big deal. And again, I would just like to say how big of a deal this really is. This is the first ever Mason Excellence in Sports Award show that we've ever done, and it is an honor to be producing this, or not producing this, but broadcasting to you live this very first award show.
Yep, I would really like to give a shout out to Dylan McKinney, the athletic guy who's been behind all this, and Mr. Mernan, who's also helped us put it all together. Haley Pace has been another really vital part of this. I know today during the school day we missed a bunch of class to come and set this all up, so it's been a real big deal, and we've been working on it since October, so it's been really fun seeing it all get put together and all the athletes and parents in the stands ready to watch some awards been given. Anywhere, all the way from designing the awards to the t-shirts to running how the night was going to go. A lot of Mr. Mernan's classes have been making the videos, the highlight videos for this night, so it's really a student-led program, so I think it'll be really cool and a great way to showcase how great our classes are.
Yeah, exactly. The integrated media classes are, and a great example of experiential learning, I guess is what it's called. That's a technical term for it, but it's real-world learning. It's a great thing for students at Mason High School to be able to experience. You touched on Dylan McKinney, the member of the athletic department. A big shout out to the athletic department for putting on this whole award. And if it were for the athletic department, this ceremony wouldn't even be. Scott Stemple, Kathy Karate, Dylan McKinney, and all the other people who have been able to help out in the athletic department this past year. They've done a tremendous job, as they always do. Mason sporting events are just something that the whole town can look forward to. They can come out to a football game on Friday night, basketball game.
Exactly.
Great. You see everyone, whether or not they have a kid out there on the floor. Parents and just everyday people are coming out to watch our sporting events. And again, you just got to thank people like Scott Stemple, Kathy Karate, Dylan McKinney, all of them for putting in the hard work that they have this past, I guess you'd say, regular season, school year.
Yeah, I know it's been really enjoyable for everyone to put it together and all of us to see what's going on. And I don't know, this has been a really fun time. I've enjoyed hosting. Have you?
Oh, for sure. This thing has been a blast so far. Thanks again for joining us on this, I guess this roller coaster trip you might call it, that is this awards ceremony. We're going to be handing out a lot of awards tonight. Outstanding Breakthrough Athlete of the Year, that's going to be going for each season. Outstanding Coach of the Year, record-breaking performance, all kinds of awards are going to be handed out tonight. And it's going to be great to see these athletes, being on a different stage rather than the gridiron, the court, the field, whatever it is. Seeing them all dressed up in their professional attire, you might say, being out on the floor.
All right.
You got it. Speaking of the floor, I think we might be heading down here shortly.
And sports inspires in so many ways. Whether it's through a game, a performance, a play, sports has the power to connect us, to make us believe in the impossible being possible. There is no script. The stories have a power you can't ignore, and inspiration comes from the most unlikely of places. Tonight at the ESPYs, be inspired by this year in Mason sports.
That was an incredible ceremony. Right, Lauren?
Yeah, I really enjoyed being down there watching it. I mean, I'm surprised with how smoothly it went. It was a great show to watch.
Definitely. You're surprised at how smoothly it went, but honestly, in my opinion, that's all that I expect from this great integrated media internship program. We put in a lot of hard work, and a lot of time and effort has gone into this show and this production as a whole. And the ceremony just turned out great. All the awards, the speeches, especially Ashley Volpenhein and Jalen Mason, their speeches were incredible.
Really heartfelt. You can tell that those girls really deserve that award. They were really excited to get it. Definitely took some time and thought into preparing their speeches, and were really ready to win that.
Oh, definitely. You got that right. And it was great to see some of these outstanding athletes all come together under one roof. A lot of them are busy playing their sports and training, while maybe some of their other fellow classmates and colleagues, I guess you'd say, are out on the gridiron fields and courts working their magic. But to have all these athletes under one roof was really a treat for us all, and a great experience as a whole.
Yeah, for sure. Also, once again, thanks to Dylan McKinney, Mr. Mernan, Mr. Stemple, all of them for making this happen, because without them, we wouldn't be here hosting this or being able to watch this amazing awards show. So it's really been a roller coaster, but it's been a fun one.
Yeah, you got that right. And then especially on the integrated media internship, Mr. Mernan's side, and all the work that they did, creating those hype videos, those were absolutely amazing. I mean, like the bass drops and all, they all matched up perfectly with those plays and how they were happening. That was an experience in and of itself, just watching those videos. And like you said, Lauren, just how well it turned out is really something that we can be proud of. And looking forward to next year, right?
Yeah, definitely. This is totally going to be an annual thing now, I think.
For sure.
I mean, this ran so smoothly, I don't see why it wouldn't be.
Exactly. And who doesn't love the recognition and getting the awards, being out on stage, giving those little speeches and all that. It's just a great experience for them all.
Yeah. All right, so now we're going to go down for one last interview with the Coach of the Year, Rob Matula.
Thanks, man.
All right, so we couldn't let you guys leave without recognizing our coach. So Coach Matula, you were named as Coach of the Year by your peers. What does such an honor mean to you?
Well, I think just what you said, when you're voted on by your peers, and we have such a wonderful coaching staff and coaches that do their craft so well, to be voted on by your peers and to be recognized by them is, as I said in my speech, it's probably the highest honor, if not, I think it's the highest honor that I've had the opportunity to get.
And Coach, on paper anyone could see that this group of girls was talented, but could you explain to us through day and day what made this team so unique?
Well, I think it was really kind of the molding that occurred with the 5 seniors. You're only going to be as good as the senior leadership that you have, and I think that our seniors really took it upon themselves, no matter if they were the person scoring all the points or the person that was cheering the loudest or the one working the hardest in the practices. They took it upon themselves to make it their team, and I think that they really took the underclassmen, under wing and really taught them valuable lessons about putting a team before any individual accomplishment.
And Coach, just talking about those senior leaders, you got to spend 4 years with two great, terrific senior leaders in Jalen Mason and Lauren Van Clunen. Can you just explain what it was like to share the road with those two?
Well, it's always fun when you get to watch young players come up at the beginning and play with the likes of Kayla McDowell and Jenna Gunn and a lot of great players that we had come before them, and just to see those two learn, from the past players and then really, kind of become just wonderful people. And for me to be able to share that is really, to be totally honest with you, what keeps me going. I like winning and I like the coaching, the X's and the O's and so forth, but the relationships that I get to build with my players and the people around our program is really kind of what keeps me moving in the right direction.
Well, we're very happy for you, and we can all agree that this is a very well-deserved award. So we'll send you back up to Sean and Lauren to wrap up.
Wow, what a great last interview. I mean, he totally deserved that Coach's Award. We all see him work so hard. But overall, tonight's been so much fun to hang out with everyone. And make sure if you want to watch this, check out www.ICRC-TV.com. It's also on the GoMasonComets.org website, so make sure you go back and watch it live. For everyone in front of and behind the camera, I'm Lauren Grace.
And I'm Sean Mitchell. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight, guys.